On Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10 2. I'm David Lovejoy.
How
And
about
if,
this? I'm Rhonda.
thank you. And if you can back it up, it ain't conceit. I'm Chuckalicious, Chuck Williams.
Man, what a timely discussion we're getting ready to have here. Stephanie from Carpet Tech joins us this morning. You know what we've been through. You could see it. We don't have to hide what's going on out there. The flood waters across the high plains and communities. And I was telling Stephanie during the break, I've seen your guys all over the place this weekend. You guys have really, really been going hard since this flooding kicked into the area.
Yes, sir. It's been kind of a wild week and a half for our technicians out in the field. Lots of homes and businesses needing help with flooding issues. So, who would have thought we'd have had this much rain in just a 7-day span?
Right. Stephanie, what are, other than what we're undergoing now, what are the most common causes of flooding in the home?
Outside of things like rainwater, it's usually some kind of pipe busting or some kind of malfunction with like a dishwasher or washing machine. But most of the time, it's a pipe busting.
Well, let's say you walk into your home and you find standing water or even gushing water. What are the first steps? How do you respond?
Yeah. So first things first, get to the water source. Figure out how to get to that and get it turned off so you can minimize the damage as much as possible. If it's something like that, then I'd make sure I call the plumber so they can help you figure out how to get it fixed. And then you start mitigating the issue. Calling a professional to come mitigate it for you would be great. Moving furniture around, especially those pieces that are really important to you if they are in the water, is a big thing. But I would get on the phone and call a plumber, call a restoration company, and call your insurance agent.
Yeah.
We think and we look and it's on the side of the building, Carpet Tech, and you think, well, they're just a cleaning company. How are you guys equipped to help in the case of in-home flooding?
Sure. So we do more restoration work than we actually do carpet cleaning, if you can imagine that. But yeah, so we can take care of any type of flood, no matter how big it is, commercial, residential, or how small it is. It really doesn't matter if it's your closet in your master bedroom or one of the buildings downtown. We're ready to go at any point in time. We do have emergency services, so it is 24/7, and we can take care of just about anything.
What's the process on a water cleanup and, and especially the drying? And why is time so much of the essence of as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, so water can damage things really pretty quickly. You've got a good few hours to get in there and get it going before things start to buckle, like your wood floors or ruining baseboards or sheetrock or anything like that. So getting in there pretty quick is gonna help minimize the damage, right? So the first things first is to get rid of all the standing water that you can. So getting all of that extracted out. And then really the next piece is the most important piece, which is the dry out. Most people, when they have a flood, they just think about the water that they can see.
Right.
But we forget about making sure all of our structure is dry. So just because it's all up off the floor doesn't necessarily mean your structure is dry. So you got to make sure and get that taken care of, which that comes, where the dehumidifiers and the fans come in, and somebody come in and monitor is your drywall, your walls, your floors, everything dried out to a proper range, or do we need to keep trying, getting it dried out? And right now it's going to take a little longer because there's tons of moisture in the air, right? So we're used to dry air, and right now it's not dry. It's got a lot of moisture in it.
Well, if you're going to hire a restoration company, what are some questions you should ask before you make that decision?
I would say make sure that they're a certified firm, IICRC certified firms. There's a lot of actual technology and math and science behind how to make sure your home or your office gets dried out properly. So you want to make sure that they have the experience, and then that they're certified. Those are the main things, so that they come in and they do know what they're doing and they do it properly.
Stephanie, having the certifications, the experience, the equipment for these type of emergencies and cleanup is important, but Carpet Tech places the customer ahead of the process. What does that look like? What do you mean by that?
Sure. So, our technicians are not only trained on how to properly mitigate the problem, or the water or the fire or whatever it is, but they're also trained on how to help the customer through this situation. This is a pretty hard time for people whenever they walk into their home and everything that they've worked for in their house and their belongings are underwater. That's a rough situation to walk into. So, our technicians are trained very well on how to handle that situation, how to take care of the customer and communicate with them. That we're going to be able to get them back to those, pre-loss conditions and help them with their insurance company if that's part of it. And so that's a really big deal because that customer experience is something that's important during that time, or any time we're in somebody's home, really.
Now, don't forget Carpet Tech at 806. You can call Carpet Tech at 806-310-9095. They're located at 4510 Trade Winds right here in Amarillo, Texas. Give the experts a call if you're experiencing some of these issues with the flooding. They also have fire restoration, any kind of home restoration. Don't forget those duct cleanings and those carpet cleanings also. Miss Stephanie, as always, great to see you, and thank you and the crews out there. Tell them hope we get some rest real soon.
Thank you very much. It's good to see y'all today.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We're back with more chat right after.